Hey, what's going on, everyone? Misha Wilson here, and welcome to part 4 of my interview with the one and only $50 million man, Tim Erway, one of my mentors and one of the smartest people in the industry. So with that said, if you haven't watched part 1, part 2, and part 3, please go back and watch part 1, 2, and 3 before you go ahead and watch this video. If you do, everything will make so much more sense. And once again, you'll just gain in-depth knowledge and insight into how Tim and I go ahead and launch online businesses, create profit, drive revenue, scale profit, and really everything in between. You'll get to know who Tim is, what he's about, how he got started in the entrepreneurship world, what's worked for him and what hasn't, so that you can once again shortcut the process to success for yourself. So please go back. Watch part 1, watch part 2, watch part 3. I'll leave links directly to those videos in the description section below this video. Please go back and watch those videos. And then when you watch this video, if you get value, don't forget to go ahead and comment. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was with a quick comment. I love reading each and every single comment, and I try to reply to every single one as well. And as always, if you guys get value, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon notification button, and hit that thumbs up button below. And with that said, I hope you get a ton of value, and let's go ahead and dive right in. On the topic, we're talking kind of about, again, failure, and we're talking about how failure is just kind of a feedback mechanism. But still, I'm a believer. I think one of our common mentors says that smart people learn from their failures and wise people learn from the failures of others. Mm-hmm. And I know it looks really cool when you host an event like this. You have people in a room, you get to talk about your accomplishments, you get to talk about everything you've been able to do. But you guys have heard some of my failures, right? You guys have heard how many times I've done just stupid shit that's gotten me in situations that I've not wanted to be in, and I've had to problem solve my way out of them, right? And so, Tim, could you just kind of bring some of our people into maybe a few of your failures that you've experienced, because I'm sure you've experienced quite a few throughout your journey, to maybe allow them to either avoid them or just understand that they actually happened, so they understand if they're at a point where they're failing a little bit more, they should just keep going.
Sure. So I think one of the things that's led to the most failures is probably lack of evaluation. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, things that seem like great ideas, like Keith talks about.
Yep. Every mistake, everything, great idea.
Yeah. So a lot of us have belief systems. We have ideas. We have things that we kind of hold on to as true, but they're really unexplored or unevaluated. What's that called? What's another word for that? Assumption. Mm-hmm. And what does assumption really stand for? I learned this in the military. Making an ass out of you and me. So if you think of assumption, ass out of you and me. Assume is ass out of you and me, right? So that's really what an assumption. So it's untested, unqualified, internal. It's not evaluated. So an assumptive type of approach to business doesn't work. It's like shotgun marketing. It's like throwing mud against a wall and seeing what sticks and hoping it's going to work. So every single failure that I've had, and I've had many, many of them, is usually based on untested assumptions, things that I didn't realize or understand. So what don't I see? Yep. Like, it's great. Opportunities are awesome. Would you guys agree on opportunity is a great thing? Yeah. But only in the context of the risk. Because if the opportunity is here and the risk is here, I'll be honest with you guys, I played the lotto the first time day before yesterday. I didn't buy the ticket. One of the host sensei bought all of us a ticket, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't want this. Because now if one of us wins, how are we going to set up a, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, how are we going to do this? And everyone, is still cool. And it's like, someone might be killed in their sleep tonight. But the risk of a lottery ticket is very minimal, right? And the opportunity is high. But also, what's the probability of success? Not very high. So that's hopeful, wishful, right? So all these things have to be measured together. Opportunity, risk, probability. Yeah. And anytime one of those three things is missing, I usually ends up in catastrophe unless I'm extremely lucky, which I have been lucky before. So, Like hiring people is one example. Like bringing on people that shouldn't be on the team. In my early days. You know, I need this done. Oh, you have that skill set, you do it. Boom, throwing it over the fence and hoping that he or she will catch it and make it happen. That's one example. I've done that multiple times. It's been heartache, pain, or trusting people to have integrity and perform something for you and not run and go and compete against you. You know, like stuff like that. So things like that have happened in the past. And every time it's cost money, it's cost time, it's cost heartache. So what worked, what didn't, what might I do differently, right? Well, what worked was we got a result for a time, or we got feedback, right? We got feedback on our failure. You know, you pick those things that worked and you go, okay, what didn't work? And then you're supposed to stick to 2. You guys aren't going to stick to 2 because you're going to beat yourselves up. You're going to go, this didn't work, 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 and this didn't work, and this didn't work, and oh, I sucked. And then you're going to get all like pissed off at yourself again. Don't do that. Try to stick to what's the 2 things, the biggest things that did not work. And then what's one thing I might do differently? Try that. Just try it. Will you guys agree to try that? Raise your hand if you agree to try that. Yes. Okay, for those of you that didn't raise your hands, you guys are just going to remain stuck forever. So I'm going to ask you again. Actually, stand up and say yes. Who's committed to trying that? Stand up and say yes. 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 Still people are sitting down. Are you serious right now? All right, take your seats. You guys are like, man, it's Sunday. Is this guy ever going to shut up and stop talking? I just want to have a beer, man. They're sitting there on stage drinking beers. This is not cool. Anyway.
So it sounds like, again, take action, measure, adjust. Take action, measure, adjust.
Absolutely.
2 things that you could do differently, 2 things that didn't work, and then 1 thing you could do differently.
3 that worked, 2 that didn't work, 1 you might do differently.
3 that worked, 2 that didn't work, 1 you might do differently.
And write down Blair Dunkley. Blair Dunkley.
Why should they write down?
He's got a webinar every Tuesday night, and look it up. You'll find him. I'm not going to give the domain. It's something to do with wiring the mind. Just look up Blair Dunkley, wiring the mind.
If you have it.
What's that?
You can give the domain if you have it.
I don't remember it. If it's rewiring the mind. What's that? 9 o'clock East Coast. So how many of you guys are on that?
I'll watch it sometime.
Yeah, I've been on a couple too. So I've actually. Oh, hi, Betty. So I recommend that. I just, again, want to give credit where it's due. Blair's awesome. He's amazing. He's helped me so much.
And again, like one of the themes of the weekend, mentorship, right? Tim's talking about a mentor that he's still currently working with. And it's an ongoing process. And one of the things I try to kind of get across to our students is I think a lot of people look at success as a destination and not a process. And I know that I fell into that trap when I first got started. And you hit that first goal, and you think you're going to feel some different way. And then you get there, and you're like, oh, I'm still kind of the same person. Now I'm just making 10 grand a month. And then you're like, all right, well, let's set this next thing, right? And if you can't actually enjoy the process, if you don't get in the habit of the continual activities on a daily basis that will drive long-term success, and if you don't embrace the overall process, Tim's been going like this a lot, right? You're going to be on that roller coaster. And I've been on that before too, and it's not any fun, and it leads to a few too many premature gray hairs.
And you said something key that I want to kind of build on. You said you get to your destination and you're still the same person. Eventually, you have to change to be the person that you need to be to get to your next destination. Otherwise, you stall out. You hit a plateau, and worse, you crash and burn. It's not sustainable to stay where you're at in your leadership ability. You always have to be growing. Like Suckville becomes the new Awesome Town becomes the new Suckville. It's fun. Like I say Suckville jokingly. In the beginning, it is Suckville. Like how many of you guys are now at a job that you don't like? Be honest. Like or just working and you want more. How many of you don't have the kind of freedom that you want to have right now? Raise your hand. Awesome. That's the reason that you're here, right? Like if we could sum up what caused you to be here this weekend, it would be freedom. It would be financial freedom. It would be time freedom. It would be freedom to be with the people that you want to be with. I give credit to Dan Sullivan for that. He has the 3 freedoms. Time freedom, financial freedom, relationship freedom. Like that's really, it succinctly sums up what we want and the reason that we're all here today, right? I don't remember where I was going with this. But it was freaking brilliant. So.
I would lead you if I could. I'm not sure though either.
Are you falling asleep too?
I'm almost there.
Do we need to do like the massaging each other's back thing? JT loves it when we do stuff like that. Where's JT? Yeah. Oh, Suckville, Awesome Town, yeah. So the journey. The journey
and the difference between
you
becoming the individual that you need to become.
Yeah. Who do I need to become in order to achieve the result that I want to achieve in my life? And that's like the question I ask myself all the time. Like and the beautiful thing about it is not who do I need to become, it's more what behaviors do I need to have? Because you can't change inherently who you are, but you can absolutely, positively change behaviors. Would you agree with that? So that's really what it's about. It's about changing the behaviors. If I want to be successful like Misha, I will look at what behaviors, what skills Misha's mastered and what behaviors he has, and I will model those. And I will get mentorship from Misha. Here's another one for you guys. This is one of my favorite ones I like to pull out of my bag and kind of go here. Find someone who's got what you want. Mm-hmm. Learn how to do what they did and get what they got. And you'll get what they got. Like it's not that hard. That's what mentorship is. And a real mentor, someone like Misha, understands that it's not about spoon feeding, it's about challenging. And the results that you get aren't on him, it's on you. Your results as far as success or failure are on you, period. And mentors will let you know that ahead of time. And Misha will let you know ahead of time. Mentorship is truly about ownership. It's about accountability and personal responsibility. Because nobody else can make you rich. Nobody else can make you free. But you absolutely can get mentors and find mentors that can lead you and show you what they did to become free. And you can get their help in recreating that freedom for themselves. Or for your, you know what I mean.
Yep.
Anyway,
yep.
This damn beer.
Again,
beer, I'm a lightweight.
It comes down to the action steps that you take. I'm a lightweight too after 3 days, so
yeah.
It's all good. But again, it comes down to the action steps that you take on a daily basis. We've said it over and over again, and the first thing we touched on is about wearing the white belt every single day, right? You need to become the person that you want to be, you need to become the person who's capable of achieving the result that you want to achieve in order to achieve that result. And at the end of the day, if you're not willing to commit to that process, nothing's going to happen. So.
Yep.